This is your First Alert Weather Breakdown, a deep dive into how weather works with meteorologist Evan Thomason.
Hello, good morning to you. It is Monday, MLK Day. I am meteorologist Evan Thomason. Hope you're having a fantastic, I was going to say start to the work week, but some of you probably not working or / not at with that. Nobody's in school today. Welcome on to your Monday. I'm meteorologist Evan Thomason. Hope you're having a fantastic day out for today. It's been a little bit of a weird day. First of all, I wanted to say sorry for starting. I think we ended up starting 2 or 3 minutes late here today compared to the usual timing of things. Working out a little difficulties behind the scenes, but we got them fixed out and we got them figured out here today. It's weird in a number of ways because that, number one. Number two, KSLA News 12 is on a little bit of a down low today. We usually have our 9 o'clock and noon shows, and both of those are out. Also, we normally stream the First Alert Weather Breakdown on our website, KSLA.com. We are also not doing that today. The platforms you are watching on are, you know what platform you're watching on, but essentially we're on YouTube and Facebook only here today for KSLA News 12, so we'll be looking at comments across both of those platforms, trying to answer them for our winter storm coming along here for the day today. Let me talk into the microphone. Sorry about that. I still got to get used to that because, again, all my content I'm looking at is over there. I'm still trying to give you guys the attention you deserve, but I'm trying to also get all my facts in order, get my entire one-man band graphics all together and things of that nature. Essentially, we're only going over the snow here today on the First Alert with a breakdown. Not much exclusive content-wise. Just wanted to give you guys first alert to the new week's details on the winter storm that's coming here for tonight and tomorrow morning here locally in the Arklatex. But this is something that is going to be covering a good portion of the southeast corner of the United States with a huge historic storm winter-wise. When's the last time you get to say that you miss snow to the south of us? You miss snow to the south of us. If you want to go see snow, you go south. When is the last time that's ever happened, if ever? It's quite bonkers. And for those of you in Shreveport who are snow lovers, such as myself, actually, you put yourself just in Shreveport. Obviously, we missed all of the wintry precip pretty much from the last storm that hit, and that only gave us snowpack into areas around Broken Bow in southwestern Arkansas. So you missed that wintry precip. But now this winter storm is missing us to the south in the opposite direction. So we have a whole Barksdale bubble, so to speak, around Shreveport for wintry precip and snow overall. So I'm a little bit bummed, I'm going to admit, but at least travel concerns are not going to be as likely here for the day tomorrow. The worst of it's going to be for tomorrow morning, if anything. We're just seeing essentially the winter storm is clipping the Arklatex. It's the best way I can use to describe it. The worst the impacts is maybe an inch of snowfall in Natchitoches. That's it. We're expecting flurries up in I-20 potentially, but that's as far north as it goes. And the thing is, most of it's going to hit now between late tonight and early tomorrow morning, so many of us are not even going to see it. It's going to happen during your sleep, so to speak. So we're staying first alert about it regardless. We're going to make sure the system goes off to our south, but just, areas to our south are not only are they getting snow, they're getting 6 inches worth of snow, if not more, in some localized areas. It is going to be intense and quite the historic storm in and of itself. Southern Louisiana hasn't had a accumulating system like this since I've heard years tossed around like 1985 and 1895. 1895 was the last time Louisiana had, I think, 8 inches of snow from a single system, and 1985 was the only other time they've had snowfall accumulate a good bit beyond 2 inches. They had a recent dusting, I think, a couple years back, but it was a dusting at best, and this is certainly more than a dusting coming on through. We are just getting a dusting here in the Arklatex, but for those south of us into southeastern Texas and into southern Louisiana, it is certainly more than that. I will say one thing is about going live on Facebook and YouTube. here is that you guys don't have to wait for commercial breaks. You don't have to wait for me to pause and say I'll be right back. We have to run those on our website and on our app. Since we are not streaming on either of those, I can just do a straight live the entire way. So if at any point on Facebook, on YouTube, you have any questions about the winter storm coming, you want to know about anything, feel free to ask them. I'll give the full forecast and let you know how things are essentially breaking down with the system ahead of us. But overall, I mean, as I said, we're just getting the very edge of the system here in the Arclitex. The interesting thing is that before I actually start off the graphics, the interesting thing is that with many systems that roll on through, it's usually a problem of the temperatures. The temperatures aren't cold enough to support snow around here. That was the issue with our last system that moved on through. Temperatures were just not cold enough. We had temperatures in the upper 30s, sustained in the upper 30s, and that's why we only had rain in areas around the I-20 corridor here for the most part. But the thing is, if we had any preset from the system, it would be snow. It would be snow. It is going to be snow. But the problem is it's just not reaching far enough north. The farthest north, I'm seeing substantial snowfall in the state of Louisiana, and Texas is essentially from Lufkin all the way over to Alexandria. Those areas are supposed to get, I think, between 3 to 4 inches, somewhere in that ballpark, but it dramatically decreases when you head up into Natchitoches, just on that short drive. So Alexandria is essentially kind of the line for how far north the substantial snowfall really gets here in the Arclitex. So again, any questions, Facebook, YouTube, I'm mainly going to address those after the forecast, because guess what? I might answer your question on the forecast itself. So I'll be mainly talking about Arclitex weather in general in here, I will say that. But there are 1 or 2 graphics that do go over some of the impacts here for those south. And if you have family in southern Louisiana and southeastern Texas, because this is something definitely something unprecedented during this time, which could shut down, and it already has, a number of schools in southern Louisiana and southeastern Texas. Not just for one day, the actual day it happens, but for several days, plural, with that snow maybe even sticking around. All right. Okay, let's go into the graphics. Enough chitter chatter. Window roll camera in Texarkana. What a beautiful day. You wouldn't know there's a snowstorm coming here tonight. To be fair, as I get the KSLA.com or KSLA News logo out of my way, just real quick. There we go. By the way, Texarkana, not expecting anything from the winter storm at all. Again, the farthest the flurries go up north is into Shreveport in the I-20 corridor, pretty much. It's a beautiful view in Texarkana, and we're expecting still a partly cloudy night. And for you guys, and it's just another day heading into the rest of the work week, which, honestly, if you take out this storm, our work week is completely dry and sunny. It's just, you got to watch out a little bit between tonight into tomorrow morning. So let's go over those weather headlines. Something we have not discussed at all is it is still bitter cold throughout the Arclitex through today. We had wind chills and feels like temperatures as low as 11 again in Shreveport. And we had some single digits in the Idabel in southeastern Oklahoma. Again, if the snow does happen, and if you're still trying to be enthusiastic about the flurries, good for you. I am too, so I might be out there anyways. If you want to possibly see some snow flurries, potentially, and if you're around areas of Natchitoches, you still could get up to an inch of snow. You're expecting that to happen essentially between tonight, and we're talking like late tonight, starting probably around 9, 10 o'clock at night, and this will continue into Tuesday morning here for the most part. Now, the biggest headline beyond all this winter storm stuff is that we actually start getting warmer here by the weekend. Our warming trend is going to start on Wednesday, but we still have 2 more full days of at least hanging around with those bitter cold Arctic temperatures. So if you're not a fan of that, well, good luck. Freeze warning is now expired. That's why there's nothing on this map. But I did want to put this on the forecast again because guess what? We probably have similar morning low temperatures for tomorrow morning that we did for this previous morning. And this previous morning, we did have a freeze warning in effect. So it might be That might be reissued, so to speak, here for your Wednesday and Thursday. Highs today, 38 in Shreveport, 36 for Texarkana, 39 for Coshada. Overall bitter cold temperatures. It feels like temperatures are not getting above the freezing mark here today. Yeah, see how those are pinpointing. Up to 31 in Shreveport this afternoon, 29 in Texarkana. So again, we started this morning with feels like temperatures in the teens. It happens yet again for tomorrow morning as well. 18 in Shreveport, 17 in Texarkana. If you felt cold this morning, even though you bundled up all that you think you could, well, guess what? Tomorrow you have a chance to redeem yourself. And I will say, if you felt warm this morning, well, you're probably going to need the same exact outfit again for tomorrow morning and beyond. Look at the feels like temperatures getting again down into the teens here for Wednesday morning as well. Again, our warming trend doesn't start until Wednesday afternoon. That's going to start to increase our morning temperatures on Thursday, but we still have 2 more bitter cold mornings. All right, future track. Again, it's a nice sunny day today. We're not then the sun sets, and then pretty much when the sun sets, that's when the clouds start to roll in. So we won't even see much in terms of cloud cover here for the day today. Obviously, if you're going stargazing tonight's not the night to do that. But then heading into 10 p.m., there you see the very edge of snow potentially getting into our southern counties and parishes. And that's the best it does, is the main line of snow just barely creeps into areas of Natchitoches and Nacogdoches. Meanwhile, we'll still have some heavy cloud cover here around Shreveport in the I-20 corridor that could produce some flurries here locally. But here you see some more prominent, darker shades of blue down towards Houston between tonight and Tuesday morning. And then once we really get into midday Tuesday here tomorrow, that's when the snow coverage is going to be essentially expansive right on top of that I-10 corridor all across Louisiana. This includes Lake Charles, Lafayette, Baton Rouge, yes, even New Orleans. And again, the actual significant snowfall really drops off as soon as you get north of Alexandria. So that's as far north as it goes, but it's certainly, we're not expecting any type of substantial accumulation at all here in the Arklatex whatsoever. So, yeah, that's what you can be on the lookout for. Then that fades away. By Wednesday, we're pretty much done with the system all across the regional area around here. So here's what we're watching out for in the Arklatex if we get anything. Again, an inch, maybe if you're lucky even, around Nacogdoches and Natchitoches, essentially just the southern edge of the region here. Maybe sustaining an accumulation of an inch. Possibly 2 if you're lucky. Then this is the extent of the flurries, which means we're not expected to accumulate at all. I will say flurries could hit the ground and potentially stick to some of those roadways, making them a little icy, especially with the temperatures below freezing. And the flurries could go as far north as I-20, yes, as far north as Shreveport, maybe Marshall, Minden potentially. But most of it covers areas just to the southern end of I-20. Carthage, Mansfield, Center, those kind of areas are just, again, flurries at best. This is not something that's going to accumulate at all. So here's your winter storm alerts. We have only a winter weather advisory for Natchitoches and Sabine parishes for the Arklatex. That's it. That's it for our entire region. So, again, goes to show that we just, even though we have a first alert weather day set up for tomorrow morning, yes, just in case, any time we have anything other than rain, it's pretty much going to be something you need to stay weather aware about. But again, this also shows the pink here, which is directly to the south end of the Arklatex. The pink shows you that those areas are under a winter storm warning. That's in effect for pretty much the rest of Louisiana and also for southeastern Texas, and this map really shows you. This is impressive. When else have you seen a winter storm warning in effect from Texas at the Mexico border, in southern Texas by Brownsville and San Antonio even, all the way over to Houston, all the way through New Orleans, even as far east as Florida? Yes, Florida is under a winter storm warning with this system in a Wednesday morning. That's in effect for Pensacola. So yeah, even clipping a little tiny piece of Florida, it looks like, according to the Future Tracks Some of that snow will finally start to move north off of I-10, and it's going to hit southern Alabama and then southern Georgia more like into Wednesday. I think it mainly is it's going to go through southern Georgia probably Wednesday night, and also hit some of the Carolinas around there. So this is something that really is just, again, unprecedented. Hits the southern end of the region by the Gulf of Mexico. It's ridiculous. This is a ridiculous setup. The point is, again, here locally in the Arklatex, only minor travel impacts. Maybe a little more moderate with possibly us catching up to an inch of snow around Natchitoches, but that's at best. That's at best here over the next couple days. So this will sum it up here for you. Texarkana, not getting anything. Shreveport, 20% chance of seeing some snow flurries. We could see something. Something. It doesn't mean we're accumulating snow. That doesn't mean we're getting intense snowfall at all. Even Natchitoches is not really expected to get intense snowfall. It's going to be light snowfall at best, maybe picking up an inch of snowfall at a 50% chance here for, again, late tonight into tomorrow morning. That is the timing of everything. So here's that full 7-day forecast. Highs are in the 30s over the next 2 days. Again, it stays bitter cold through Wednesday morning. Wednesday afternoon, then we start to warm up. After that winter storm, the rest of Tuesday is going to be nice. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday look completely dry with sunshine. Eventually, that'll start to warm us up. Highs up to 55 by Friday. The weekend, highs are up in the lower 60s. 60 on Saturday, 62 on Sunday. Fortunately, that's when we bring in our next chance of rain. Rain is looking to come back here on Saturday, Sunday, and our 12-day forecast looks absolutely soaked as well heading into the next work week. Lots of rain showers are on the way once we start this weekend and even heading into early next week. So maybe enjoy the sunshine while it lasts. Although we'll say I know it brings some of those colder temperatures in as well. All right. Whew. So that was check out your local forecast. Again, one thing before I go to questions, if there are any, on our Facebook and YouTube. Again, areas of southern Louisiana and southern Texas, yes, are getting up to 4 to 8 inches of snowfall. All right. So travel is, first of all, going to be very limited around there. So I will advise not traveling south on I-49 tomorrow or, quite frankly, Wednesday or Thursday, maybe even because snow could still hang around those areas still for another day or two after that. Some of the officials down there are kind of, even though it's a one-day snow event, they're allowing people to hunker down into place for a substantial time, so to speak. All right. Marietta says, good job, dude, on Facebook. Patricia, all right. Marietta, good job, dude. Thank you. Appreciate it very much. Appreciate it very much. YouTube comments. Stephanie says, so it's just going to be super cold, no rain, no snow. Yes. Pretty much. And again, the only chance you're seeing those flurries are pretty much when you're sleeping, for the most part, which is going to be late tonight into early tomorrow morning. It might catch you on the morning commute, if anything. But yeah, it's pretty much the main story here is just the Arctic cold hanging around for the next 2.5 days, essentially. So, yeah, that's what we've got here locally. Hopefully that answers your question there. Yeah, I'm hanging around just for another minute or two, stalling if you got any more questions. Besides that, I'm going to wrap this whole thing up. First weather breakdown was just for the snow today. Tomorrow we'll go back to programming. Tomorrow we got CJ on, meteorologist CJ Cartledge. He'll be back on sharing his TikTok. But I definitely wanted to start off Monday by just going over the snow because it's a huge topic. Trust me, especially with my family. My family is out of New Orleans as well, and I've been hearing it from my mother. Trust me, Mom, if you're watching, congratulations. You can go. Hey, build a snowman and take photos of it. Okay. But make sure you're safe, and definitely don't travel out there if you have to. And again, this goes for you in the Arklatex. I already said this once. I'll say it again. Don't go south on I-49 anytime soon, all right? It's going to be treacherous down there. And again, the substantial snowfall really starts around Alexandria, too. It's pretty much, we are just off to the edge of some of that major substantial snowfall. David says, will there be anything substantial in northeast Louisiana like they said at the end of last week? Hold up. Sorry, I felt that cough coming. Anything in the northeast Louisiana over towards Monroe. I think they'll be getting a little more than us with the flurries, But I think it's going to be the same case around as Natchitoches, for example. I think they could accumulate maybe an inch or so. But no, overall the bulk, in fact, I'll go back over to the graphics. If I can pinpoint it. Let me go back to the graphics. Let me go back to the winter storm watches and warnings here. There we go. And then let me take myself out of the picture. So there's a winter storm watch in effect for Monroe that you see over there. And some of the snow could go even farther north once it passes the Arklatex in towards Jackson and Monroe. But you can see Jackson and Monroe at the very edge of that winter storm watch. And the winter storm warning overall is in effect, again, for southern Louisiana and southern Mississippi. So I'd say they're expecting probably in the same case as like Natchitoches, where they're getting maybe an inch or two of snow. But besides that, I'm not expecting much for northeast Texas either. Maybe just, again, a little bit more snow than Shreveport, but not by that much. Not by that much at all. Rose, is it going to snow in Texarkana? No. That is a definite no. I can definitely say that. The farthest north the flurries go is Shreveport. And obviously that's still an hour and a half drive away from you. So instead, again, this is the polar opposite, essentially, of the last system that came through. Last system that came through, all the snow hit the northern edge of town, or the northern edge of the Arklatex, and that was it. This time, it's all just the southern end. And even then, Natchitoches is not expecting that much. So, yes, there's your question. David says, thanks so much. Love the Facebook short videos. Thank you. Appreciate it very much. Yeah, I always update weather each and every day here in the Arklatex. All right. 10:54. What does it look like in Grant Parish? I see Grant Parish. I have time to look this up. I'm going to stick around still for another 10 minutes or so, and then probably get off. I have to look up where Grant Parish is. I'm not going to lie. So that's what I am doing. Location. Grant Parish. I feel like I've definitely heard of this. I'm looking it up. Okay, that's where I thought. It's just, yeah, okay. Why did I not? It's been a long day. I should have known that. Anyways, Grant Parish, just to the east of Natchitoches. Let me remove my face here. So Grant Parish, I believe, is under that winter weather advisory, same as Natchitoches. So I'm guessing that pretty much the same conditions as Natchitoches here for the most part. Again, the farther south you go, the worse it is. Watch out for that shade of pink. The shade of pink is essentially where we're expecting at least 3 inches of snowfall forecasted. So for those in Grant Parish, it's right on the edge, so to speak, between not getting anything at all to at least getting some substantial snowfall. So I think for Grant Parish, maybe an inch or 2 inches of snow. So at least something on the roadways as well. But also nothing like 3 or 4 inches or as much as 8. Yeah, as much as 8 inches across I-10. Quite wild. Mike, how many inches do you think is in Sabine, the South Sabine Parish? I guess the southern end of Sabine Parish, I'd probably go 2 inches, maybe. I go between an inch or 2. I would go between an inch or 2 for Sabine Parish. So, yeah, something. It's more than nothing. It's more than just the flurries that we're getting in Shreveport, but certainly not everything. Again, anywhere between Sabine Parish to Natchitoches Parish to Grant Parish, all 3 of those parishes right on that kind of borderline of substantial snowfall. Most of those areas getting anywhere between an inch to 2 inches of snow, if that. There's even some models only hinting at like a half inch. It is something, though. And again, Grayson, for those of you just joining, Grayson, sorry, Shreveport's only getting some flurries. I mean, that might be good, too. Kylie is also asking about Shreveport. Let me go back to this map, because this will show something better. Hold up. Pulling up a graphic. There we go. All right. So these are snowfall amounts. Again, an inch or 2 inches of snow. Sabine Parish, Natchitoches Parish, also in the areas of East Texas, out towards Nacogdoches. keep in mind, again, this is the most we're getting across the Arclitex is just this inch around Natchitoches. Again, some of the models are even hinting at not even getting an inch, and only getting a half-inch in areas like Manny and Natchitoches, for example. Flurries. Flurries is what you're getting, and that's the extent to how far north the flurries are going. They're only going as far north as Shreveport. They are not getting into Texarkana. They're not hitting Mount Pleasant, any of the areas that got snow from the last system that moved on through. And keep in mind, this is almost the same map that we had inverted for our last winter system coming on through. You remember we had that, like, ice layer that was between I-20 and I-30 with the last system that came on through? Shreveport was pretty much at the very tail end of that between the mix and the rain. Shreveport was on the tail end of that. And look where Shreveport is again here today, just at the very forefront of flurries. Again, they could get it. I have seen a few models stretch up a few flurries up into Shreveport to where we maybe pick up technically like a tenth, 3/10 of an inch of snow fall, quote unquote. So it could be something, but don't expect anything substantial. I hope that makes sense. Same for DeSoto Parish as well. Again, flurries. That's all you're getting. That's all you're getting here for the majority of the Arclitex. Natchitoches and Manny, if you're lucky, you're getting maybe an inch, and maybe more substantial snowfall around there, just by a little bit. So yeah. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end this stream here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Yeah, so for those looking forward to staying nice and dry and not having to drive out in any hazardous snowfall conditions, guess what? You got your wish. For those of you wanting snow like myself, just a little bit, just once. I wanted to build a snowman here, okay? For snow lovers, you got to go south. You got to go south, but please be careful traveling down I-49. Again, once you reach south of Natchitoches, that's when you're reaching treacherous territory. Alexandria is getting significant snowfall from this. So watch out for that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end this off. Our next update is going to be coming on the web from meteorologist CJ Cartledge. He'll have you guys covered in pretty much the next couple of minutes. Again, we have no 9 o'clock. We have no noon. We don't have a show today until 4. Meteorologist CJ Cartledge will be on that show. And then our chief meteorologist, Matt Jones, will be on tonight with all the latest. Coming on tonight, we'll be covering the little snowfall coming on through here for tomorrow. Now, again, I'll end with this. Little snowfalls more than nothing, but it's certainly nothing substantial either. So still need to stay first alert. We, as of right now, still have a first alert weather day set up for tomorrow morning for the snow. Because it's even with flurries around, again, with the freezing temperatures, flurries fall to the roadways and can still freeze up some of the roadways very quickly. So, yeah, a little treacherous when it comes to that. So, watch out. Watch out for that. All right, we're going to go ahead and end this off. I'll see you tomorrow at 10:30. Meteorologist CJ Cartledge will also be on this First Alert with a Breakdown podcast here tomorrow. We'll go over his TikTok, and, yeah, we'll talk about the forecast as well beyond this winter storm. But I will say it will be very impressive to see what happens in southeastern Texas and South Louisiana out of the system. If the forecasts verify, which I think they will. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. You have a great rest of your day. I will end with Deborah saying we wanted to build a snowman. Me too. Me too. I'm not going to lie. Maybe next time. If there is a next time, if we get this cold again enough. We'll see. We'll keep you first as always. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow at 10:30 with meteorologist CJ Cartledge. You have a great rest of your day. See you tomorrow, 10:30. Be there, be square, and most importantly, be weather aware. See you later.